They may get mad at me, but give it a shot. I'll also be in the Santa Cruz area doing a talk on March the 7th in Santa Cruz. If you live in San Francisco or the Bay Area, I encourage you to come on down to that. That's March 7th, Friday, March 7th at the Vintage Faith Church. We'll put a notice up on the website at brightsideben.com. I also want to encourage you to check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, which we update regularly with blog posts as well as news stories. Thank you to my webmaster, Robert Lundgren. All right, our number today, 855-660-4261. If you've got questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, if you want to get off your meds, if you want to help a loved one get off their meds, we can help you. If you have a success story or you want to contribute to our conversation, 855-660-4261 is our number. So, connective tissue, we've been talking about how it's connective tissue as it regards the structure of the body, but the blood is also, the blood vessels and the blood itself is also a kind of connective tissue. Blood is considered liquid connective tissue, and then the vessels that channel the blood, that's also made up largely of connective tissue, and so is the lymph. And we don't talk anywhere near enough about the lymphatic system, lymphatic congestion, and circulatory congestion in general. And by the way, the lymph and the lymph and the blood are essentially the same system. They kind of merge. They're separated out from most of the body, but they merge in different parts of the body, and they kind of pool into each other. So it's all basically the same system. The lymphatic system and circulatory congestion in general will exacerbate any health challenge, and this is one of the major links to degenerative disease and early demise. Lymphatic congestion, that is stuff getting into the lymph and not getting pulled out. And this is one of the causes of hypertension, by the way, of high blood pressure. If you're on an antihypertensive, a beta blocker drug or a diuretic because your blood pressure is too high, it's, in a way, it's kind of ironic because your blood pressure builds up when the lymphatic system is congested, and then you take, and the circulatory system is congested. This will cause pressure to build up, and then you take a blood pressure drug that slows down your heart and slows down the pressure even more. That's how these antihypertensive drugs work. They shut down the heart. Now, leaving aside the utter stupidity of a medical professional dispensing a drug that suppresses the heart, leaving that aside for a minute, if you have hypertension because your circulatory system is congested, and now you stop the pressure at the heart level, which is pushing the blood through, that's going to cause more leakage, that's going to cause more congestion, and that's going to cause even more problems, and now you've only exacerbated things. If you're on an antihypertensive because your pressure is building up, because blood can't move through the crap that's piling up, and the lymph can't move because of crap that's piling up via leaky gut syndrome or digestive issues or food intolerances, now you've only exacerbated things. This is so important, this link between the lymphatic system and hypertension. And considering how toxic most of us are and how clogged up our lymph is, it makes perfect sense that 80 million Americans or more are going to have high blood pressure. Doctors have a great term for high blood pressure when they can't figure out the cause. They call it essential hypertension. And the vast majority of hypertension is said to be essential hypertension. So what does that word essential mean? It means doctors don't know what's causing it. Essential means we don't know why you have high blood pressure. Essential as in it's just basic. It's just part of the wiring. It's not basic. It's not part of the wiring or the plumbing. Essential hypertension means the blood is not moving correctly, and it happens for two reasons, and two reasons only. Actually, it happens for one reason. A body in distress. That's the only reason. We got to cut through the chase of this nonsense of our 12,800 different medical diagnoses and different diseases. No matter what you name your disease, it's a sign of the body in distress. The body is your baby, and your baby is crying. That's what it is. That's all degenerative disease is our baby is crying. And yes, we can take duct tape and wrap it around our baby's mouth, and that's what your antihypertensive does. It takes duct tape and wraps it around your baby's hypertensive mouth, your body's hypertensive mouth, but that's not, you may not have to listen to the baby crying. That's not going to help you. Hypertension and all degenerative disease is the manifestation of a body in distress, secondary to stuff getting into the body, into the blood that shouldn't be there. When fluids don't move around because things are pooling up, doctors will call that fluid retention. And it's the first thing physicians treat when it comes to high blood pressure. They'll put you on a low-salt diet. It's more medical stupidity. Low-salt diet, please. And even worse, they'll dispense a diuretic, which will force your body, compel your body to lose fluid, as well as B vitamins, and as well as the electrolytes and all the water-soluble nutrients. One of the worst things, if not the worst thing you can do to a body that's already in distress is give it more toxins that it has to process, and that's exactly what the medical model does via prescription medicine. That's what prescription medicine is all about. This is the dirty little secret of the drug business. The body has to process the drugs through the poison control system. And this is not part of the side effect profile of drugs. You know, you read about the side effect profile of drugs. That's bad enough. Every drug's got side effects. That's bad enough. But the little sneaky little secret that the drug companies don't talk about, and that your doctor doesn't even know probably, is that the body has to process the drugs through its poison control system. And this is a burden on the body that results in more toxicity in addition to side effects. The load on the liver, the load on the detox enzymes can exacerbate lymphatic congestion. And if we're unhealthy enough to be medicated in the first place, the lymph is usually going to be clogged anyway. Now you've got an added burden, which you may not even notice, even though eventually it's going to take its toll. The worst thing, I'm telling you guys, the worst thing you can ever do, and the sign of an ignorant medical professional, by the way, is to take an antihypertensive or to have a doctor dispense a hypertensive drug for high blood pressure. It is so stupid, it's beyond belief. You're shutting down your heart, number one. That's stupid enough. But then you're only going to clog things up more. You got more. The pumping action, the heart, which represents the pumping action, is now suppressed. That means less drainage of toxins. The body's a pressure system. If you stop the pressure at the heart level, that means less drainage of toxins. And because cells depend on pressure to be fed, cells are fed through the action of pushing, through the action of pressure from the liquid system, the blood and the lymph. That means less nutrition to the cells, and it means less oxygen as well. Less drainage of toxins, less pressure for food, for feeding a cell, and less oxygenation. That's what you get with an antihypertensive drug. Now, who thinks that's intelligent, doctors? Who thinks that makes any sense? The body is a pressure system. Its chemistry and its metabolism depends on pressure. Antihypertensives stop pressure at the heart level. Dumb, dumb, dumb. And that means cells aren't going to be fed, cells aren't going to be breathed, cells aren't going to be detoxified as effectively as they should. That means cells will become defective. That means cells will die. That will ultimately lead to a defensive response. Defensive response means immunity. It means inflammation. As the body attempts to clean up the mess and protect itself from the mess, of course, that means even more toxicity. And that's where you get your downward vicious spiral of degeneration and early demise. And your doctors are complicit. Now, you can use magnesium 2,000 milligrams a day for high blood pressure. Absolutely. You can use niacin, time release. You can use CoQ10, the Healthy Start Pack, the Mighty 90. They're all important. But as long as you got this toxicity going on, this lymphatic congestion, this blood pressure, circulatory system congestion, you're going to be dealing with high blood pressure. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're coming back with your phone calls right after this. 855-660-4261 is our number.
Did you know by age 50, half of all men have an enlarged prostate? This means more urges to urinate, longer bathroom trips, waking at night to urinate, or issues with sex. If this sounds familiar, call us now, because we're shipping free bottles of Super Beta Prostate to listeners of this station. Super Beta Prostate is a non-prescription formula guaranteed to reduce the symptoms of your enlarged prostate. It's yours free. Pay only shipping and handling. Just call 1-800-890-2605. In clinical trials, the ingredient in Super Beta Prostate was shown to reduce urges to urinate, improve bladder emptying, reduce waking at night to urinate, and improve quality of life. This Super Beta Prostate free offer is for listeners of this station, but it won't last. Don't wait. Just call 1-800-890-2605. That's 1-800-890-2605. Call 1-800-890-2605.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 3 square meals you'll need in an emergency. So the Freeze Dry Guys 3 square meal unit sale is just the ticket. A variety pack of tasty, nourishing breakfast, lunch, and dinner on sale now. Breakfast is Freeze Dry Guys' favorite. Hot oatmeal and sweet dehydrated bananas. Lunch is Mountain House freeze-dried hot macaroni and cheese and crisp green beans. And dinner is Mountain House long grain wild rice pilaf and hearty beef stew, vegetables, and gravy. Call Freeze Dry Guy and ask for details on the 126 serving 3 square meals unit. One case normally $164.37. Sale price at only $138.90. Save over $25. Get 2 or 3 cases and save even more. Or ask about Freeze Dry Guys Fall Chili Special. Always free shipping to the lower 48 states. Call 866-404-3663 or click freezedryguy.com. And hurry, the Fall Chili Special and 3 square meals unit are on sale while supplies last. From the Freeze Dry Guy, the finest freeze-dried and dehydrated foods available for long-term storage, period.
What looks good under your Christmas tree and tastes even better? Big Berkey water filters. Yes, the gift of clean water. A gift that provides a great foundation for achieving good health in the lives of your loved ones. A Big Berkey water filter gives them protection from bacteria, heavy metals, chlorine, fluoride, pesticides and herbicides, VOCs, and more. And best of all, a Big Berkey water filter is a gift that lasts for many years with no additional investment. And that saves time and money in filter replacements that other water filters require and are even powerful enough to purify treated, untreated, or even stagnant pond water. As always, all orders over $50 are shipped free, and GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Order online at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com, spelled Big, B-E-R-K-E-Y, waterfilters.com, or call 877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Gift well this Christmas. Give a Big Berkey water filter.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
Headlines, suspensions, FCC investigations. That's Mancow for you. Hear him here. GCN.
Welcome back to The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for being here. 855-660-4261 is our number. We'll continue this discussion on lymphatic congestion. We haven't talked about this anywhere near enough considering how important it is, and circulatory system congestion as it regards connective tissue tomorrow as we continue talking about peptides and proteins, the importance of protein for building things, for building the body up. Protein deficiency is such an important factor when it comes to breakdown. And it should come as no surprise, by the way, that we're protein deficient. Protein's expensive. Protein is breaks down easily. It doesn't preserve well. It doesn't lend itself to the mercenary economic food model. There's a reason why our economic food model is based in grains grains, processed grains at that, because processed grains can be stored and shipped and sit on shelves. It has a shelf life. Protein doesn't really have a shelf life. Good protein, anyway, doesn't really have a long shelf life, relatively speaking. Now, processed protein does. That's the problem with processed protein. Even whey is a processed protein. This is why you want to be so careful of your whey protein. This is why I talk about One World Whey so much, because it's such a nice protein. It's not easy to find a really high quality whey protein. Don't go to Costco. Don't go to the supermarket to buy your whey protein. Be very careful about your whey protein. It's a little more expensive to get a quality protein, but you don't want to be skimping on protein. You don't want to be skimping on probiotics either. There's certain nutrients that you don't want to skimp on, probiotics and protein especially. Protein's so darn important. I would say protein deficiencies are one of the major reasons for